Hi there beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel Investment Mindset. Today as usual, while browsing through enormous charts and stocks, there is one particular stock which caught my attention in both the chart pattern and also the bright prospect of the stock. And upon making an in-depth analysis into this stock, I saw the potential of this stock running up to even above 50% is there. And here I have decided to share my findings with all my Investment Mindset YouTube channel subscribers as a way to reward for your support to my channel all this while. This stock is none other than LYC Healthcare Berhad, bearing ticker LYC 0075. As usual, before I begin, allow me to shed some light on the background of this stock. LYC Healthcare Berhad is a listed company trading on Bursa Malaysia, which has diversified its operation into specialized divisions including LYC Mother and Child Care Center, LYC Child Specialist and Family Clinic, LYC Senior Living, and LYC Fertility Center. LYC Mother and Child Center has garnered a reputation of being a 5-star confinement center in Malaysia. In my humble opinion, senior living care and fertility center and confinement services are only going to grow in demand in the near future. How many of you have heard of your friends or your friend's wife now choosing to do their confinement in a 5-star confinement center? In my own circle of friends and relatives, I have heard a growing preference towards doing their confinement in a 5-star confinement center. And as for the senior living care, how many of you are aware that there is currently a rise in the senior population in Malaysia? The number of individuals aged 60 and above is steadily increasing, highlighting the urgency to address their housing needs. According to the recent data from the Department of Statistics Malaysia, it is projected that the senior population will reach 23% by the year of 2050. And I would say most elderly folks may still want to remain independent even during their old age, and they still want to stay in control and enjoy a premium quality of life in their golden years, but the abilities start to decline with age. Hence, this gave rise to the demands for senior living care, and this demand will only continue to rise given in view of the increasing number of senior citizens as supported by the data given out by the Department of Statistics Malaysia. On top of that, LYC also has planned for their upcoming division to include LYC Fertility Center, which is a unique collaboration with University Malaya Medical Center. They will be providing a range of fertility-related services or treatment for both the local and overseas patients. And how many of us here need to admit witnessing a rising demand for IVF, driven by factors such as delayed childbearing due to changing social and cultural norms. Couples now are increasingly focusing more and more on personal and professional development, thus resulting in delayed attempts at conception. And I see there is no reason to believe that this trend will alter anytime soon. In fact, today I also saw an announcement by the company that they have also recently, on the 7th September this year, incorporated a wholly owned subsidiary known as LYC Prostate Center Sdn Bhd. The incorporation of LYC Prostate is to facilitate the setup of prostate treatment centers across Asia. To me, all that LYC Healthcare Berhad has been doing thus far receive all the ticks from me, looking from the viewpoint of investing into a highly potential healthcare business or stock in this instant. In addition to all this, LYC Healthcare Berhad is expecting the listing of its subsidiary, that is LYC Medical Singapore Private Limited, LYC SG, on the Catalyst Board of the Singapore Exchange Securities Trading Limited. It has thus far lodged its prelim offer document with the Singapore Exchange Securities Trading Limited on the 30th June this year. The company has listed Zico Capital Private Limited as the appointed sponsor and issue manager for the IPO, and KGI Securities Singapore Private Limited is the appointed placement agent for the IPO. And assuming a minimum initial public offering price of dollar 20 cents per LYC SG share and the illustrative gross proceed of dollar 11.2 million to be raised pursuant to the proposed listing, the proposed listing would involve a placement of 56 billion placement shares to be issued to investors in Singapore. This cross-border listing will also help to improve the liquidity of this stock in my humble opinion. Having said this, now it is time for us to delve deeper into its latest balance sheets and financial situation. We can see from its most recent balance sheet that LYC Healthcare Berhad has a current ratio of 1.8 times, which is a short cry of the ideal 2 times, quick ratio of 1.58 times, and cash ratio of 1.09 times. Finally, a business needs free cash flow to pay off debts. Accounting profits just don't cut it. So the logical step is for us to take a look at the proportion of the EBITDA that is matched by actual free cash flow. Happily for any shareholders, LYC Healthcare Berhad actually produced more free cash flow than EBITDA over the last 2 years. I found out from the Simply Wall Street website that LYC has sufficient cash runway for more than 3 years based on its current free cash flow. That sort of strong cash generation does warm my heart a little bit like a puppy in a bumblebee suit. And looking at its most recent earnings report ended 30th June this year, LYC recorded an improved revenue of Ringgit Malaysia 26.630 million, an increase of 26% in its revenue quarter over quarter, and has also managed to narrow its loss from a loss of 91 cents to a reduced loss of 34 cents. To me, this is an improved set of earnings report. With the fundamental and financial all having passed my metrics, now let us take a good look at its technical analysis and chart pattern. Based on LYC chart, this stock was IPO'd way back in April 2005 at price of about 41.5 cents. It has then taken a roller coaster to an all-time historical low of 0.04 cents on October 2008 before making a turn back to the upside on April 2016, where it has surged all the way from a low of 0.055 cents to an all-time historical high of 69 cents on February 2018. Before crashing down all the way to a low of 12 cents on March 2020, and we all know what happened during that time. The whole global stock market crashed hard during the early stage of COVID outbreak back then. It then surged back up on the following month, that is April 2020, from a low of 17.5 cents to a new all-time high of 68 cents on August 2020. How many of us would have bought into this stock each time it hit an all-time low, be it on April 2016 when it hit an all-time low of 0.055 cents, or March 2020 when it hit a new low of 12 cents, or even the most recent, that is on September 2022 when it hit a low of 16 cents? If only we have a crystal ball and knew in advance that this stock, upon hitting this lows, would then surge back up to a new high, we would definitely have bought into this stock and held on to it happily. But we miss out on all these opportunities because we don't have a crystal ball. And now, this stock has since taken a beating to trade all the way back down from a high of 33 cents on February this year, and now back to a low of 19.5 cents. Would you now want to buy at this low? Of course, many of us could be asking, what if 19.5 cents isn't the low yet and this stock might even retrace lower? This is when technical analysis and chart pattern could help to lend us an extra edge in making such critical decisions. Firstly, let us look at its monthly time frame chart. We could see there is a clear higher low pattern indicating bullishness in the stock price going forward. Secondly, let us now look at its weekly time frame chart. I could see from its weekly time frame chart, LYC stock has been sort of doing a consolidation for a couple of weeks with its weekly candle getting smaller, indicating less volatility in the stock price and probably signaling a selling exhaustion soon too. Now let us look at its daily time frame chart and see what pattern I found here. I see an M pattern here. where it has since fulfilled its first part where it surged back up to touch the sea level at 22.5 cents and has since made a pullback down to the scene of crime at 19.5 cents. Always remember, scene of crime level is important as it usually signifies a great support and also probably an institution buy-in level too. And please also pay attention to the RSI indicator below. And what do we see? Yes, a positive RSI divergence where the stock price making similar low but RSI is inching higher, indicating the momentum of the stock price to want to push back up higher is on the card. While there is nothing 100% guarantee to say that LYC stock price will not pull back lower under 19.5 cents from here, but the probability of this happening is on the lower side. And one of the way I usually tackle this kind of situation is by buying into this stock at small tranches. I may choose to nibble in a small position at around 19.5 cents maybe. And if the stock shows growing momentum to surge higher, I may then choose to add to my positions, or should the stock pull back lower, I can also buy in more as a way to dollar cost average down my position. Looking at LYC latest improved earnings numbers and all the expansion LYC has been doing, it seems that this company is crafting in a good fundamental for LYC to start to churn out bigger revenue and eventually profit to reward its loyal shareholders. To me, this seems like one of the high probability trade I would get into soon. The ultimate target price for LYC to get back would be at least 33 cents to make a double top, but this could take up 2 months. And in order to get there, LYC would first need to break through few levels of resistance along the way, that is, the first resistance at around 22.5 cents, and then second strong resistance at 26.5 cents, where it is also a fib retrace of 618 and coincide with a strong red bar candle above, and ultimately 33 cents. This would represent an upside target profit of about 50% at the first resistance of 22.5 cents and 35% upside target at the second resistance of 26.5 cents, and ultimately 69% profit should it reach 33 cents. For full disclosure, I do not have any position in this stock as of now. I hope you have enjoyed my full sharing on this high potential stock today. As making video does take up lots of efforts and time, in return, I would appreciate a small love from your end by smashing onto the like button to show me some love, and feel free to comment if you share any insights on this stock. Before I end my video, I just want to say that we are all greatly blessed child of God, and so do be happy. Ciao, and I shall see you again in my next video.